Money and Me is proudly brought to you by NGS Super, a leading super fund for Aussie teachers.
Money and Me with Biz-E the Bee. Biz-E learns to budget.
Hey Amanda. Hey Biz-E. Fancy seeing you two here in the supermarket. How are you both?
Yeah, I'm great, thanks, Bryce. I've brought Biz-E here on my weekly grocery shop to help teach her about budgeting.
Ah, cool. Is this all part of your project to save up to buy your own mobile phone, Biz-E?
It sure is. I'm trying really hard to be patient.
Well, that is awesome. You know, it took me a long time to understand how to budget.
Yeah, well, as you know, Bryce, it really is an important skill. Learning how to manage money is as important as learning how to read or do maths.
It sure is. And just like reading the maths and all the other life skills we learn at school, budgeting will be a really important part of every kid's life as they get older. After all, you can't save money to buy a mobile phone if you don't know how to budget.
It would be so much easier just to go to the mint and get the money after it's made.
Yeah, but as we learned in the last episode, Biz-E, money is something you have to earn, most often by doing a job. That's why so many parents of the kids who are listening to this head off to work each day. It's why the teachers who are listening along with their classrooms show up to class each day. I mean, teachers love their students as well, don't get me wrong. Most of the time.
But ultimately, it's about earning a salary, which is the word used to describe the money you get paid for doing a job.
And here is a cool fact. The word salary comes from the Latin word for salt, sal.
Oh.
Back before there were fridges, salt was extremely valuable because you could use it to preserve food. And so Roman soldiers would sometimes get paid in salt, and they'd earn a salarium.
Ha! Imagine getting paid in salt today.
No thanks.
So, Amanda, what's the plan? How are you going to teach Biz-E about budgeting in a supermarket?
Well, Bryce, a supermarket is a place we're all familiar with. When I was a kid, I'd often go with my dad to buy the weekly groceries, and that's how I learned that we couldn't buy whatever I wanted. It's kind of the perfect place to learn how to budget.
And a budget is basically a spending plan.
Yeah.
You have a certain amount of money and you need to figure out how to pay for things within that budget. So, what kind of budget are you working with, Biz-E?
$50. Amanda went to the bank to get me actual money so I could see what it looks like. The colours are so pretty.
With that money, we have to buy the groceries to make tonight's dinner, as well as tomorrow's breakfast and lunch, and of course pick up anything else we need to keep the household running.
Easy peasy, and I'll have plenty left over to buy my phone.
Okay, this will be good. Can't wait to see how you go.
Okay, Biz-E, what do you want to cook for dinner tonight?
Honey prawns to start, and then steak with honey carrots and honey garlic roasted potatoes, followed by a honey cake from that delicious fancy cake shop next door.
Whoa, what's the special occasion, Biz-E? Is it someone's birthday?
Yay! Nope. It's just what I feel like eating tonight.
It sounds delicious, Biz-E, but I don't think we can manage to make that with just $50. That's a very special occasion menu, the kind we'd have to save up for. I mean, prawns are $50 a kilo, and you'll probably need 100 grams a person. There's 4 of us. That means we'd be spending $20 just on prawns. That's almost half our budget.
What?
And Biz-E, steak is at least $30 a kilo, and you'd need almost a kilo for 4 people. So that's another, let's see, $30. And once you've bought the potatoes and carrots, you'll be well over your $50 budget. And you wouldn't have a cake, nor would you have taken care of tomorrow's breakfast or school lunches. And what if you've run out of laundry powder for the washing machine, or dishwashing liquid, or garbage bags? All those boring things that are essential to make any house run smoothly. Plus, you're going to need bread for tomorrow's school lunches, a piece of fruit for sip and crunch, and if you're anything like my kids, you'll be needing yet another box of cereal and milk for brekkie tomorrow.
Yep.
Why is this financial literacy stuff so frustrating? I want prawns and steak.
I understand that you're feeling a bit sad, Biz-E, but this is the first lesson of budgeting. You have to be realistic about what you can afford. How about honey garlic chicken instead? I have a great recipe and chicken thighs are $13 a kilo.
Yum. And if you buy a little over a kilo, you can always use the leftovers for chicken sandwiches for school lunches.
Can I put extra honey on the bread?
Of course you can. Lucky for you, you can get your honey for free. Well, Biz-E, I think we've done really well. Honey chicken thighs for dinner with a salad. We've got some cereal for brekkie tomorrow and a loaf of bread to make chicken sandwiches using the leftovers from dinner. And so far we've spent $35, which is lucky because we also need laundry detergent and toilet paper.
Wait, why are you getting that toilet paper? It costs $13 and this kind only costs $12.
Ah, but how many rolls do you get in each packet? You see, for $13 you get 24 rolls, and there are only 8 rolls in the $12 pack.
Yeah, so actually it would cost $36 to get 24 rolls of the toilet paper that seemed cheaper.
Ah!
One important part of budgeting is to look really carefully at prices and at what you're getting for the money.
Most supermarkets now have this handy thing on the shelves, Biz-E, which shows you how much something costs for 100 grams, or in the case of toilet paper, 100 little squares, to help you compare.
It's so complicated to figure out a budget.
And we're only talking about the supermarket, Biz-E. There are so many things that a family has to pay for each month.
For instance, we need to pay for where we live, either with rent money or by paying a mortgage, which is a fancy word for paying back the money that we borrowed from a bank to buy a house.
Then there's the electricity and gas bills.
And most of us drive cars, and if we've borrowed money to buy the car, we'll have to pay some back each month.
Plus put petrol in the car to make it run unless it's an electric vehicle, and pay for insurance in case we get in a crash.
And a family might need to get regular medicines from the pharmacy.
Plus pay for activities for kids like swimming lessons or sports club fees.
Oh, not to mention the sports uniforms, school uniforms, other clothes and shoes.
And then there's food, which we've learned can get expensive. We have to look carefully at our options at the supermarket and plan our meals in advance.
Oh, and don't forget, most grown-ups also try to save money for when they get older. They might put it in the bank or add to a thing called superannuation. That's a special kind of account, especially for when people retire from work.
And once we've taken care of all those household expenses and our savings, there are things like trips to the movies or holidays or getting takeaway.
Yum.
Those aren't things we need in life, but they're things that most of us want to do occasionally.
And every time we go to spend money, it's important to ask ourselves that question. Do I really need this, or do I simply want it?
On my budget, I have a different column for needs and for wants. If I have enough money left over for something I want, then I might get it. But I have to take care of my family's needs first.
Amanda, Bryce, you forgot something really important on your family budget. Mobile phones.
Well, you're absolutely right. We forgot to mention mobile phones. Most people nowadays would say that they need a phone. After all, it's how the school calls us if our kids are in the sick bay, or how our bosses call us if something important has come up at work.
But you are a kid, Biz-E. Do you think you need a phone or do you just want one?
I guess I don't need it, but I really want it.
I know, Biz-E. But I think now we've been to the supermarket, you have a better idea of why your parents can't always give you everything you want. Grown-ups don't get everything they want either.
Otherwise, Biz-E, I'd be eating honey prawns and steak with you every night.
And don't forget that honey cake from the fancy shop next door.
Oh, I know. Instead of buying a cake, maybe we could buy the ingredients to make it. That would be much cheaper.
Hey, great idea, Biz-E. I think you're getting the hang of this. Let's budget for cake ingredients on our next shopping trip. Do you want to join us for a slice soon, Bryce?
Absolutely, I'd love to. Save me a big slice, Biz-E.
Okay, Bryce, I will.
This special Squiz Kids series is proudly brought to you by NGS Super, the leading super fund for teachers in independent education.
These episodes are edited and engineered by Carter Quinn.